beautiful day.
Hey, showing off our Skylar city,
my
aren't
gosh. This was a winner of a day. Look at that big boat.
we? Wow.
Look at that huge boat. Jeez.
Is that a cruise ship?
It looks like a cruise ship. That can't be it. I don't know.
I mean, one of those tours?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know,
That's
but
probably what it is.
It can't be. I mean,
got
if somebody actually
questions.
owns one of those,
I've got
wow.
questions about that
I
big
wanna know what
boat
they
on
do.
screen.
Yeah.
And can I have a ride?
Yeah.
Welcome to the Forecasters. I'm Alyssa Donovan. Bill Snyder here. As always, lots to cover today.
Isn't there always?
Right?
Right?
But today,
Yes.
you know what? What a nice day.
Oh, we needed this,
Yeah.
didn't we? And I think everybody, our friends in Northwest Indiana that are still dealing with power outages, this was just what the doctor ordered. A day
Yeah.
like today with sunshine, comfortable temperatures, low humidity. We dropped the humidity a little bit. Look at that, dew point in the 50s.
Yeah.
That is a welcome change because, while we haven't had the hot weather, we've certainly had many days that have been quite muggy,
Yes.
which have helped contribute to the storms. But look at that, 74.
74 right
Little
now.
high clouds going on.
Dew points in the upper 50s and mid 50s. That
Yeah.
feels nice
It
when
does.
you walk out.
It's very pleasant.
Yeah, sunshine peeking through. We had 97% of our total sunshine today.
Yeah.
That's what we like to see.
I know we're trying to play catch up a little bit. August has been a little disappointing in the
Yeah.
sunshine department, cloudier than normal.
And really, depending on where you were, it was a warm day or slightly cool day. Stay
Yep.
a little cooler near the lakefront.
Yep, northeasterly wind.
Yeah, 73 in Wilmette and Lake Forest. Highs at O'Hare just a little below normal at 78. And then a few spots into the mid 80s.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it felt really nice and summery for a few spots there.
Definitely. Just a picture perfect day, for no question.
And
Look at
right
this.
now we're in the 70s. So
Yeah.
overall, pretty nice evening.
Yeah, if you're dining al fresco, go for it. I'm jealous.
Ooh.
It's a good night to be outside.
night
Have
to
a
be
little,
al
little
fresco.
supper outside. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very nice. Upper 50s right now with our dew points. So again, comfortable, a little bit
Yeah.
more muggy as you get further south. Corn sweats are in full
Yes,
progress.
it's still going, right? Even though we're at the latter stages of it, but yeah.
Northeasterly wind keeping us cooler, drier.
Yeah.
Wanted to show this
Yes.
because what's moving through to the north of us in Wisconsin, that's coming our way.
Yeah, it is. Wish we could tell you that we were in a stretch of dry days consecutively in a row, but guess what? We're bringing more showers,
Yeah.
scattered showers and thunderstorms back into the forecast to end your work week.
And a lot of the models are showing it not extremely exciting early in the day, maybe a
Right.
midday hit for our
Yeah.
northern counties.
Right.
By the late afternoon and evening, that's when we could see a little bit more activity move
Right.
across the area.
Yeah.
At this point, strongest stuff is going to be out to our west.
Right.
But we are under that marginal risk again, level 1
Yeah.
out of 5
Yep.
of some strong to severe storms.
Right, and that's a big, a notable change from the Storm Prediction Center's outlook that came in early this morning, and then that's, of course, was updated this afternoon just before 1 p.m. So they had a noticeable shift in the marginal risk. Again, level 1 of 5, not a huge risk. This is not like what we saw last Tuesday where we're
No.
talking about 80 to 100 mile an hour winds barreling through the area. But it's, keeps you on guard to look out for the possibility of a strong or borderline severe storm.
We throw these words around a lot,
Right.
marginal and slight. Well,
Yeah.
when we're talking marginal, that means we're going to see thunderstorms,
Right.
but maybe 1 or 2
Right.
of those thunderstorms are going to be slightly stronger.
Yes.
So that kind of gives you an idea of what to expect. When we're in
Right.
the slight range, that's when the area is yellow.
Yeah.
That's a little bit more widespread
Right.
with that stronger activity. Overall, we're looking at 1 or 2 of our storms tomorrow being a bit stronger.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's a good way to put it. And
Yeah.
tonight, no issues at all. We'll see some clouds move in, scattered clouds, nothing out of the ordinary. But beautiful night, 62
Good
degrees.
night. You can
Good night.
open your windows.
You can open your windows. A
Little
good night
breeze in.
for our friends that we're here, but our friends that might be out at Ravinia tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Seeing Ricky Martin.
Which, by the way, I
Yeah.
said this during the newscast.
Yeah.
You know who was supposed to be there tonight?
You were.
This girl.
This girl, right.
I had a
I know.
ticket. I was supposed to go with Lourdes and Anna. It was going to be a blast.
Yeah, I know. That would have been an
Demetrius
awesome.
needed his time.
Yeah, that's
And
a shame.
I recognize and appreciate that he needs his time off, but I really would have liked to see some.
Yeah,
Ricky
and I mean,
Martin.
talk about a perfect night for a concert.
Great night for
Yeah,
Ricky.
just gorgeous. And tomorrow, warm up a few degrees over today, low 80s. We'll ramp up the humidity just a tad. I mean, just so you'll notice it. And that little increase in humidity. And we've got a front that's coming in from the northwest tomorrow night. So cold front coming in, and then that's that convergence might be just enough to produce those scattered showers
Yeah.
and thunderstorms, and could, one or two of those could approach severe limits. So we'll be watching that.
We'll be keeping an eye on things.
Yeah.
I want to go to BJ Camp.
Yeah, let's go.
Because I want to talk
Happy
some
Thursday,
trivia.
BJ. Happy Thursday,
Happy
BJ.
Thursday. Good evening, guys.
Yeah, BJ, I think this is a good one.
It is a good one. Let's
Yeah.
hope we don't have any severe weather tomorrow.
Yes.
Right.
So, because we've had quite a bit of it.
We have.
But what we haven't had a whole lot of is extremely hot temperatures.
That's right.
So we're playing a little bit of trivia today.
Yes.
It's not a Got Tech
Ooh.
Questions, it's a trivia question.
Right.
You're on the honor system. Please
Yeah.
no online searches.
Right.
How many 100-degree days has Chicago had since January 1st, 2000?
turn
Now
of the
let's
century.
clarify. We're talking about 100 degrees at least. So 100 degrees or more. How many
Right.
days of those have we had since the turn of the century?
Yeah.
Have we had 10? Have we had 8? 6 or 5? You see a code on the right side of your screen. You can scan that. It'll take you right to WGNTV.com/theforecasters,
Yeah.
where you can make your choice. And, we
again,
will reveal the answer later in the show.
We are talking about thermometer, not the heat index, because of course we've had several
that
of those days where the
100-degree
heat
heat
index,
index.
yeah, that
Oh,
happens
enough.
somewhat regularly, but we're talking the actual thermometer at O'Hare, how many times. So that's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good one. I'm anxious to see what the spread is across the
Yeah.
board from our viewers.
Good one, BJ. You know what? People in Northwest Indiana, still without power. People have been writing that on my Facebook. We
Yeah.
are not forgetting about
No,
you.
we're not. Oh, no.
We are feeling for you, and
Yep.
we know that NIPSCO is working hard to get things back up and running. More than 63,000 customers in Northwest Indiana still don't have electricity.
Jeez.
This is 9 days after severe weather struck that area. About 25,000 are just in Gary. That city and Portage are expected to have their power back by next Tuesday.
Wow.
So that's going to be 2 weeks.
That's 2 weeks. That's amazing.
A father has been driving from Chicago to Gary to bring his daughter gas for her generator, and tree removal crews were in front of her house earlier today.
Wow, that is something. Hey, in nearby Munster, the town has a contract to get storm debris removed from affected areas. But for some, it's a case of too little, too late. Our very own Dana Rebick was at an emergency meeting this afternoon where frustrations were clear.
Almost immediately after Tuesday's tornado, the town recognized that recovery from this continuing emergency and disruption was beyond what our staff could accomplish in a timely manner.
We were hit especially hard, and my family and I have been without power since August 11th.
NIPSCO estimating power not expected to be fully restored here until Tuesday. Another major issue, all the trees and debris that have yet to be cleared.
There's dangerous conditions all around the blocks and streets in North Munster. There's no communication about plans to remove that debris. I can't send my kids outside.
Munster Public Works has been picking up some of the mess, but the town council voted to move forward with a $1.25 million contract to hire a private debris removal company to finish the job. Residents' patience running thin.
I'm disappointed that I did not see the person that represents my neighborhood walking the neighborhood, inquiring what the neighbors need.
We had neighbors coming in and feeding their neighbors, coming over there and helping out. I mean, what else do you want?
Well, people do not have.
There for 8 to 10 hours supplying food.
I had to call to get elderly residents some help. No one came around. I saw guys grilling hot dogs. I didn't see anyone talking to 85-year-old residents down my street. We need that kind of plan, not hot dog grilling.
The contracted cleanup work expected to begin in the coming days.
But you have a major disaster on your hands. This is a marathon, not a sprint.
Schools still closed here because buses can't safely navigate routes and buildings are still without electricity. A storm that took this town to its knees.
It's been stated from a couple contractors who have come in here that travel all over the world and looked at our damage, and they said, we don't even see this kind of damage in hurricanes. Will we be better prepared for next time? Yes, because we're learning right now.
The town is hoping to be reimbursed by FEMA for that large contract. Town officials tell us that 20% of residents here are still without power. Jeez,
horrible.
That's just awful. Can't
We're
imagine.
feeling for you.
We are.
And unfortunately, the Hoosiers just can't catch a break when it comes to severe weather. After dealing with historic flooding, the Muncie area saw more slow-moving thunderstorms. This was yesterday. And this, a funnel cloud seen swirling near a retail area. An emergency management official said there was no damage related to this other than a tree that was brought down.
That's interesting. Yeah, very interesting. It's looked like a funnel, but didn't touch down. So that's certainly good news. But hey, 2 resource centers are now open to help July 27th storm victims. We're still going backwards here because we've had so many storm outbreaks. The National Weather Service confirmed 7 tornadoes in the Chicago area that day. It also brought flooding rains and damaging winds across the area. One is at the Chicago Public Library in the West Pullman neighborhood. The other at the Village of Hazelcrest offices on 183rd. Homeowners, business owners, and renters can apply for the low-interest loans from the Small Business Administration. The locations will be open through early September. No appointments are needed.
Well, that's some good news.
That is good news, yeah.
Now, in Nebraska, several reports of funnel clouds, like this one, which was captured on video. The National Weather Service in Omaha said the funnel clouds were harmless and shouldn't touch the ground. How about that?
Sure looks like those classic cold air funnels. Cold air funnels, and they look dramatic, but they don't pose any
just
threat.
Enough to scare you a little bit, really.
Sure, yeah.
Put you on your toes.
Right. But thankfully, those aren't the parent clouds that produces those damaging tornadoes. Now we're going to head to Ohio. In western Ohio, heavy rain overnight into this morning created more flooding and rushing water flowing over the Lake Loramie Dam and spillway. The National Weather Service said areas near and north of Interstate 70 corridor got between 3 and 6 inches of rain. The ground is saturated, leading to rising rivers and the dramatic images you are seeing right here.
Wow.
Yikes.
You know what? A lot happening in Arizona as well. This is a time-lapse video taken last night in Phoenix. This as a haboob swept through.
Yep.
Wow. The National Weather Service had warning of strong winds, blowing dust, and hazardous driving conditions. And wow, look at this. Oh my goodness.
Scary.
And this was as thunderstorms developed behind the outflow. You can see some flashes of lightning in the distance, but you can imagine driving in that, how scary that would be.
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
Remember we had that dust storm, was it last May, Alyssa? That Central Illinois that swept up
swept up to the north?
Yeah.
But it wasn't nearly what that is. That is like a rolling pin of dust.
It really is, yeah. And it's literally, you go from clear to just to whiteout conditions. Very scary. I think we're going to head to Serbia now. How about this? We've been talking about low water levels in Lake Mead exposing some long hidden secrets. Well, extreme drought is exposing a piece of history in Serbia, two along the Sava River. Record low water levels revealed the remains of a sunken tugboat called the Slovenian. Local residents have previously been able to see a small part of it, but they say this is the most that has ever been exposed.
Like a whole boat.
Look at that. Isn't that wild? That's really cool. During World War II, Yugoslav forces used the boat to transfer wounded troops and equipment. How about that?
Wow.
It struck a German mine and sank in 1945. Wow.
You know what? All these water level stories are very scary for the environment. But I have to say, I'm really loving the treasure trove of things that we're getting to see.
Isn't it something? It's amazing.
It's horrible, the water level situation.
It is.
But that is, whoa, look, it's a whole boat.
Yeah, it sure is.
It's like intact.
Yeah, no wonder. I mean, you can see almost all of it.
Sail it away. My goodness.
Yikes.
Also, warming waters off the coast of United Kingdom are blamed for killing off a conservation project in less than a week. Scientists were trying to preserve seagrass off the coast of Wales. The grass can be useful in helping mitigate effects of climate change by providing a natural filter and improving water quality. But an unusual marine heat wave killed the seagrass in just 5 days. The UK has lost an estimated 92% of its seagrass over the last century. They're trying again at a different site believed to be more resilient to extreme temperatures.
How about that?
And we are going to take a quick break now, but I want to remind everyone of our trivia question today. How many 100-degree days has Chicago had since January 1st of 2000? We'll reveal the answer later in the show, but you can make your choice now. WGNTV.com.
Bill, you can't play.
/theforecasters.
I know you know the answer.
I do know the answer.
On the other side of our break, the story of one man does his part to help. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Check this out. What you're looking at here is normally a roadside waterfall in Puerto Rico, but it has dried up.
Jeez.
And lakes have receded amid extreme heat and drought conditions. More than 180,000 residents are now living with rotating water outages lasting up to 2 days. Scientists at Yale say the drought is the worst the island has seen since 2015. July was the driest month recorded in San Juan in more than 120 years.
Yikes. That is, I mean, talk about extremes all over the world, Alyssa. We're
know.
talking about floods. We're talking about droughts. It really is, it's just amazing. It really is. But now we're going to head to Hawaii. On the Hawaiian Islands, cleanup and recovery continues following last weekend's brush with Hurricane Lala. Utility officials expect power to be restored to the few thousand customers left offline on the islands of Oahu and Maui today, which is great news. But storm-ravaged areas south of the Big Island could be without electricity for at least 2 weeks. Boy, we sound familiar, doesn't it?
I know.
That's about 17,000 customers. The Big Island took the brunt of the storm, and there are communities in survival mode, with many using generators. Roadway access to a hospital has been restored, but an administrator said supplies are still hard to come by.
Everybody who has a generator has been running off generator, so fuel is a big thing. A lot of people had damages to their vehicles. They're unable to even leave town to get more supplies, get fuel, water. Right now, the town is still kind of in survival mode, and they're feeling the impact of the devastation.
The Office of Hawaiian Affairs used a helicopter to drop off about 1,500 pounds of supplies into some of the most isolated parts. Officials believe 2 deaths are connected with the storm. Yikes.
Well, off of that, we're going to go to Bill's favorite part.
That's it.
Of
You
the
know,
day.
I don't hide it. Our viewers know it. Demetrius and I have turned into quite the degenerate weather gamblers.
It's
And
We Bet on Weather
we bet
Time.
on weather time, yes. And our viewers are pretty good at it too. And we've had some repeat champions, Alyssa. They're very smart, and we've tried to throw some curveballs out there, and they're having none of it. So this week we are going to Mexico, not the country, but Mexico, Missouri. James Papa Stars chose that location. He was our last winner. And so we need you to submit your prediction by midnight tonight, if you can.
Oh, it's tonight already.
Well, no, but it's for tomorrow morning.
Right,
So I just
but
like to get tomorrow's Friday.
I
huh?
just forgot it was
Yeah.
Thursday.
So submit your prediction for the 10 a.m. temperature in Mexico, Missouri tomorrow, Friday. You know, we're obviously, that's the time of the day where temperatures are rising, you know, from the morning low,
Yeah.
kind of halfway between what
It's a
you'd
little
expect the high to be.
sneaky.
So it's a
Little
little sneaky.
challenge.
It's a little bit of a challenge, trying to throw a little curveball out there. And
Trying to trick
we
you
will
up.
reveal the winners tomorrow night at this time.
All
So
right.
how about that? How about some
Yeah,
pictures
let's
too?
talk about some viewer photos.
Yeah, I
We got
think
some
so.
great ones. This one's from Lance.
Yeah.
He captured a stunning lightning show. This was from a summer thunderstorm in Rolling Meadows.
Oh, wow. How about that? And the next one comes to us from Penny Schlabicki. She said it was breakfast time.
Oh.
Look at that. As this close-up, I don't know what kind of bird that is, so viewers help us out.
Doesn't matter.
But it's enjoying
cute
a
bird.
beautiful snack as a snack from her bird feeder. It looks like a lot of good food,
Yeah.
a lot of good eating there.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Judith Southstone.
Oh, we love
She
Judith.
captured a vibrant sunset. This was Monday night from Gallery Park in Glenview with crescent moon
Look at that.
visible
You can
just
almost,
there.
just up there.
just
you can
there.
kind of see a
Yeah.
little sliver of it. Yeah, it's there.
Beautiful.
And then we got the last one from Catherine Demet, and she captured a serene photo from Lake Forest Beach. You can see that, Lake Michigan, and the mixed clouds in the sky. She said, Chicago is in the distance. We can't really see it there from the clouds, but
I believe
I
you.
take Catherine's word for it. If it's there on a clear day, we would see it. So send your photos in.
Yeah.
We want to see them to WGNTV.com/theforecasters. We'll be right back after this with the full forecast and the full 7-day outlook. So stay with us.
Steven Zarni is fit for his age.
70 years old. I can prove it.
He gets a lot of exercise.
I had a friend that had metal detected for over 30 years, and I got to thinking that might be a fun thing to do for retirement. I started this as a hobby with no end goal in mind.
But Zarni gets very goal-oriented when people feel lost about what they've just lost.
I just lost my ring, or I just lost my glasses, or I just lost my whatever. Can you help? And then it goes from there. a gentleman named Todd walks up to me on the beach.
That would be Todd Williams of Texas.
First time to Virginia Beach.
Williams ventured out into the waves.
Thought I would try to body surf or kind of ride a wave in.
She says, I've lost my platinum wedding band in the water.
Even Zarni, typically awash in optimism, had his doubts.
I said, that one's going to be a long time coming in. I don't think that's going to happen.
I just fully expected it to be lost. This is 27 years married. Well, it was all about the sentiment.
And then, against all odds,
1 in a million, 1 in a billion, who knows? Had a look on his face of like he had something. Pulled it out and slipped it right on.
We exploded with emotion and shock and elation.
Impressive, but not even close to Zarni's best find.
She waved me down, and I knew something big had happened the way she was emotional.
A woman had lost not only her diamond engagement ring,
which was a 1.5 carat stone. It was huge, and that stone meant everything in the world to her. She wanted to give it to her kids and her grandkids.
but her wedding band too.
The 4th day after she had lost them, I found the solitaire ring, but I couldn't find the partner ring with it. For some reason, I gave up, and she had already gone home up north.
And then, 3 months later,
right in the same spot where her big ring was, the little one showed up. That is the best return I've ever had, honestly. $9,500 ring set.
Susie Noyes founded the Facebook page People of Virginia Beach.
If I see somebody that just I'm pulled to, I'll go up to them and ask them if I could do a free photo shoot.
One day, the current of her curiosity pulled her, understandably, towards Stephen Zarni.
And he tells me how he's returned $16,600 worth of jewelry. And the whole story that he went through was just amazing.
All right, 10 cents.
Finding small change
in the pocket
and bringing people priceless relief.
He's a unique soul.
It's a humbling thing to have been able to do that for an individual.
Take something dark and just turns it sunny and happy.
At the oceanfront, with Stephen Zarni's next big discovery somewhere nearby, Chris Horn, 10 on your side.
What a great story.
I just think that's a great story. As someone who has lost things in the ocean, you know, that one just touched me a little
you
bit.
think it's gone forever or something like that. So.
It's really cool.
So let's reveal the answer to our trivia question. Yeah. How many 100-degree days has Chicago had since January 1st, 2000? There's how our audience responded. And Bill, the correct answer is
5. How about that? Yes, 5.
Not too many people.
Not too many people thought so. Yeah,
including me.
So here's the interesting factlet behind that. Since 2000, there have only been 2 summers that have hit 100 degrees.
What?
2012, 4 of them, and then 3 years ago, 2023, 1. Do you believe it? That is it.
You know what? I feel like the consensus, the brain consensus, is that we get a lot more than that.
Yeah, I think you're right, but we don't.
And then you know what I think it probably is? Because people in suburb areas get those 100s sometimes.
Or they see in the news just how much heat is everywhere. And then, we talk about hot weather when we get it, and they figure, oh, it's got to be 100 degrees. Mm-hmm. Well, no hundreds and nothing even remotely close to that in our 7-day forecast.
Tomorrow we have some showers and thunderstorms moving in, marginally severe possible. Yep. And then beautiful weekend.
Oh, we'll
70s.
Take it. 70s, we will take it, yes.
Sunshine.
Yep, next chance of
rain.
You're
welcome.
Late Tuesday into Wednesday, but overall, a beautiful stretch of weather coming after tomorrow's storm chances. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Sports Office is next. We will see you tomorrow night. Have a good night.